Hello, welcome to One-on-One. I'm your host, Greg Walker. Look forward to our show today. Our guest is the women's head basketball coach at Austin Peay State University, David Midlick. Now, David will be beginning his second season at the helm of the Lady Govs, and they are predicted to finish 7th in the conference this year. They hope to do much better than that. We'll talk to the coach and find out about the cast that will make up this 2016-17 Lady Govs edition. We'll look at the roster, we'll look at their schedule, and much more. Settle back, relax, enjoy a fun, down-to-earth conversation with the Governor's women head basketball coach. Dave Midlick joins us right after these words.
The model year-end sales event continues at Matthews Nissan, Clarksville's favorite new car dealer. Save big on 400 new. We're making room for 2017s. $8,188 off a new Altima. $6,388 off a new Rogue. $7,888 off a new Maxima. Buy a new Versa, $9,999. You're going to love our prices.
I'm Gary Matthews, and that's my guarantee.
You're gonna love our prices, Matthews Nissan.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville, in all media, 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchment Funeral Home has honored legacies. We believe every family deserves a special time of celebrating a life well lived.
Neil Tarpley Parchment, people who care, a name you can trust.
Welcome to our show today. Austin Peay women's head basketball coach David Midlick joins us. Great to have you, Dave.
Thanks, Greg. Great to be here.
How's the family?
Doing great. Leslie and the boys are enjoying the fall and busy with school, and we're looking forward to basketball season.
Yeah, are you ready for it?
It's here, whether we're ready or not.
We're ready. The weather we was talking about, it doesn't seem like it, does it?
No, it doesn't. When you walk out in the morning and it's 70 and it's 85 at practice time, and you look at the calendar that it's November, but it's a little warm out for basketball season.
Yeah, we're taping this show November the 2nd. That's on a Wednesday. And, of course, the Lady Govs, now y'all played a closed exhibition game, but your only exhibition game is the 7th of this month, and you play Kentucky Wesleyan.
Correct. Exhibition game on the 7th and open up at home on Friday the 11th against Miami of Ohio.
On Friday the 11th. Can you tell which player or players have worked the hardest over the summer to get ready for this year, Coach?
I'm excited about all the returners and how hard that they've worked. I think our fans will notice, first off, Tiara Banks. She has really worked on her conditioning and on her body this summer. She is
good for her.
She's dropped about 40 pounds.
Way.
And has worked on her conditioning, worked on her game, and we're excited about her senior year and what's in front of her.
Sure. What do you look to be your strengths and your weaknesses coming into the season?
Mm-hmm. Post play, I feel we can score. And it's usually at this level not the case. You struggle to find post players. You're trying to develop post players. I feel we really have 4 players right now in Tiara and Beth Rates that are seniors, and in Bree Alexander and Sydney Gooch that are juniors that can score the basketball in a variety of ways. I think they are all double-figure possible scorers for us. I think they all present different mismatch problems for teams that we face. They've worked extremely hard over the spring, summer, and fall, and they're excited about trying to get them the basketball in a variety of different ways and allowing them to score. Weaknesses, we're going to miss Tiasha Gray. We'll probably talk a little bit about her. She was a senior last year from right here in Clarksville, went to Clarksville High School. Averaged almost 22 points a game for us last year, could create a shot for us and score when we needed to.
Hard to find somebody that can create their own shot.
Sure is. and we're just very excited for her. She's playing in Sweden overseas. Her first professional game was this past Sunday, and she did very well. And but we have 7 out of our 8 leading scorers back, other than her. And I think that's a plus. We have a lot of depth with players that logged a lot of minutes last year.
What about your coaching staff? Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, Kayla, Tessa, and Chelsea, I'm excited about having them back for a second year. I guess I didn't run them off, so
that helps.
It does help. Having continuity on your staff, what's expected of them, how they react with the team and how they coach and what I expect. It's just great to have them in year 2. Kayla was promoted to our associate head coach. I lean on her for making decisions in my absence. If I'm recruiting, if I'm out of the office, I trust her.
Oxen Riders, her
correct.
last name.
Just trust her. She's earned it. That I trust her decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa Holt is from outside of Atlanta. Played at Florida and Boston College. Works with our point guards. Does our travel for us. We're fortunate that she gets to also play against our guards. She's as good a player
That's
as there
great.
probably is in the Ohio Valley Conference, so that they get a good test playing against her. And Chelsea Turner comes from Oklahoma, and she was director of player development at Tulsa University. Probably, more of a mother figure on the coaching staff that the players come to talk about, not just problems, but just anything in general that needs to be handled in the office. And she works with our post players, and I'm excited to have all 3 of them. They are 3 knowledgeable coaches. They're good at what they do, and most importantly, they're good people that treat our team and our players right.
Well, and you being a man's coach, having the women as assistant helps, because there's some things that women can talk about that they can't talk about.
No doubt, and I tell them that. I don't get my feelings hurt about that. If there's something, if they feel more comfortable talking with Kayla, Tessa, or Chelsea, by all means do that. I tell my assistants, and, unless it's something that needs to get to my desk that affects our team or affects the safety or,
whatever.
Something with our players
Sure.
that they can handle it, and I trust my 3 to do that and to talk with our players and handle situations that don't need to get to my desk.
Head coach David Midlick, Austin Peay Women. When we come back for segment 2, we will look at the roster that will make up this 2016-17 team, and the coach will go over them with us after this timeout.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
Welcome back. Coach Dave Midlick, head women's basketball coach at APSU. Visiting with us today, we're going to look at the cast members that make up this 2016-17 Governor edition and have the coach comment on them. You've got 5 newcomers. We will also look at them, and I'm just going to go down numerically down the roster, Coach, and you can tell us a little bit about each of them. Nigel Crawford, one of the newcomers, 5'8" freshman from Forest Park, Georgia.
Has had a really good 4 weeks of practice. Wing player for us. Count on her this year for some really good defense, energy. Really liked her effort in these first 3-4 weeks of practice.
Your senior, April Rivers, or one of your seniors, and April is a 5'5" senior from Las Vegas, Nevada. She played some good minutes for you last year.
She did, and I think she's been more vocal this year, which we need her to be as a point guard. She needs to get our players in the right spot and talk to her about being the start of our defense. She has to be able to stop the basketball coming down the floor and put us in a good position to put some pressure on other teams.
Ariel Gonzalez Varner. She's a 6-foot freshman, newcomer from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, it's just fun to say that name.
Yeah,
it's just good to it kind of rolls off the tongue.
Well, and when you're calling the game, all you got to say is Varner.
Right.
You don't have to go.
Or if you get fired up into the whole thing. I don't know if I told Ariel. I don't know if we can fit that off in the back of her jersey.
Ariel Gonzalez Varner. Yeah.
Same thing as Naja. Just has worked extremely hard for these first 4 weeks. Has been a sponge soaking up what we're trying to do. Rebounder for us, defender, long arms. Looking for her to make a difference on defense when she comes in the game for us.
Shelby Peay, a 5'4" freshman from Kansas City, Missouri.
It was point guard on 3 straight Kansas. She was on the Kansas side of Kansas City. 3 straight 4A state championship teams at Bishop Miege. Like her potential. It's been really a good learning process for her for 4 weeks due to our junior college transfer point guard Bree Williams in April going against her, as well as Coach Holt in practice has made her better, and we're looking forward to good things out of her this year and beyond.
Bree Alexander, 6-foot junior from Smyrna, Tennessee.
Been much more confident on the offensive end these first 4 weeks. Probably when we scrimmaged last week, our leading scorer was able to score with either hand around the basket, has improved her shot probably all the way out to the 3-point line. Has worked on her conditioning, getting up and down the floor, but I'm excited about how she will look these first few non-conference games.
Madison Rich, 5'7" junior from Bee Spring, Kentucky.
Has shot the ball extremely well these first 4 weeks. Probably close to over 50% from 3 in practice. She has the green light at any time on the shot clock. Has worked hard also on her body in this off season to work on her strength and her first step quickness.
Another newcomer, Bree Williams, a 5'4" junior from Norcross, Georgia, played at Gulf Coast State College.
Yeah, was a point guard on the national championship junior college team at Gulf Coast this past year.
Mercy.
Has really quality defender. Good at setting up our offense. Want her to be more vocal. Been working on that with April, with Shelby, and with her. But feel good about those 3 at the point guard spot. You're not gonna replace Tiasha Gray, but you have to find 3 that can do some different things to lead our team.
Your 5th newcomer, Tracy Patton, 5'7" junior from Nashville, Tennessee, played at Walters State.
Yes. Was Region Player of the Year in junior college in Tennessee last year. Good defender, tough on the basketball. Was a good 3-point shooter last year at Walters State. Looking for her to do the same things here.
Keisha Gregory, 5'10" sophomore from Johnson City, Tennessee.
Didn't do a whole lot stat-wise last year, but when you look at the film and look at the box score at the end, just didn't make mistakes. Is the daughter of a coach. Her mom, Karen Kemp, was the coach at East Tennessee State for many years.
That helps.
And really like what she's done these first 4 weeks. We need her to be able to score the basketball this year for us at a big wing position. Just a great young lady. Comes hard to work at practice each day, and excited about what she can do in her sophomore campaign.
Anxious to hear what you have to say about this young lady. Sydney Gooch, 5'10" junior, Franklin, Tennessee.
Tell her every day she can be a double-double.
Yes, she can.
She's got to believe that, and if she will do nothing but have a motor during the games,
yep.
Both with her body and with her talking, and stay in the moment and not feel like she gets down on herself, she'll average a double-double this year.
She can do it. I really like this gal. Beth Rates, 5'11" senior from Hallsville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get to Hallsville, Kentucky from here. I kid with her all the time, but I guess you can. Same thing as Sydney. She can average a double-double for us as a senior. Probably been the most impressive out of our group in these first 4 weeks of practice. Has been loud on the floor, has been a good defender of really a guard, a wing, and a post player. Has been able to score the basketball from outside and inside using either hand, and I'm excited to watch her play against other competition. I'm excited to see her have a big senior year, and I think she can. Tiara Banks, you've already mentioned her, 6'2" senior from Louisville. I'm so glad that
she's worked on her conditioning, because she can really be a big factor.
She has the opportunity. She's difficult. Let me put it this way: she's difficult to guard for anyone that will play this year, because she has a big and wide body. She has great footwork. She has good hands, and she's worked on the part of her game in the off season that she needed to improve on. You know, we need to be able to and want to be able to keep her in the game a little bit longer, and she's really taken that to heart and has worked extremely hard. I'm proud of her as well as the rest of the team for how hard they worked in the off season, but especially her. Her transformation from last March till now is pretty remarkable.
That's great. Fallon Baker, 5'8" junior from Portland, Tennessee.
She's another one that played first year last year, coming off an ACL injury and wore a brace. She's not wearing the brace this year. She's improved her conditioning. She's improved her body, and is a much different defender out on the perimeter, as well as a 44% three-point shooter last year. So once again, excited about what she's done these past 6 months.
And finally, your fourth senior on this year's team, J.C. Scott. She's 5'9" from Douglas, Alabama.
Yeah, probably a great basketball IQ. As a senior, she's taken on a leadership role, talking to players, putting them in the right position. Has shot the basketball well in our scrimmages, and so her, as well as our other three seniors, Beth, Tierra, and April, have taken on a leadership role and done well so far.
So how are they going to do this year, Coach?
You know, we're picked ninth. We're lucky to be able to prove.
Ninth? I thought it was seventh.
Well, we're seventh in the median. We were ninth in the coaches
as
well. So that will average. We can always use that as a little motivation.
I got you.
And we should. Make no bones about it. We were picked eighth last year and finished fifth. And we've lost one starter, and that's a big one in Tiasha.
Yeah.
But we're thought of to not finish any higher than last year, and even lower. And so, if that doesn't motivate our 9 returners, then there's not a whole lot that we can use to motivate them, because that's what the other people around the league think of us, and think of our 9 returners. So we get a chance to prove it on the court. Are they right, or are we going to do some more?
Are any of your newcomers going to break in and get any playing time to speak of?
I think so, and I think if one to look for is Shelby Piggy, just from the fact that Tiasha is gone and leaves a big hole, and that is at the point guard spot, and Shelby's one that can create a little bit of offense, both from the outside and driving in, and she's been successful in high school and with her AAU program.
Coach David Midlick, head women's coach at APSU, getting ready to open up and embark on the 2016-17 season. Get over to see him. We'll look at the schedule and much more on the Stretch Run today, right after this.
The model year-end sales event continues at Matthews Nissan, Clarksville's favorite new car dealer. Save big on 400 new. We're making room for 2017s. $8,188 off a new Altima. $6,388 off a new Rogue. $7,888 off a new Maxima. Buy a new Versa, $9,999. You're going to love our prices.
I'm Gary Matthews, and that's my guarantee.
You're gonna love our prices. Matthews Nissan.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchment Funeral Home has celebrated legacies with services as unique as each life.
Neil Tarpley Parchment, people who care, a name you can trust.
Stretch Run today with head coach Dave Midlick, Austin Peay women's basketball. We're going to look at the schedule for the women this season, and it starts Monday, November 7th. As a matter of fact, when this show airs, this game will have already been played, but we're still going to talk. Exhibition game with Kentucky Wesleyan. You know, Wesleyan, from what I remember, always quick and athletic.
Yes, NCAA Division II team last year, and you hit the nail right on the head, Greg, with how they play. It'll be a good test for us.
Well, you open up with Miami U here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and that's on the 11th. Is that the Miami U?
That's Miami of Ohio.
I got you.
We played them last year, a very physical team. We'll try to pound the basketball inside. I know a little bit about some of their recruits that are freshmen this year, really good players. A good test from a team out of the Mid-America Conference.
You know, you got a lot of home games to start out. I think you like that. Christian Brothers comes in the 13th out of Memphis, and that's a 2 o'clock p.m. game also. I like these early games you got, Coach.
It's great. In our schedule this year, we have more home games than since 1984.
I believe it.
And last year, we only had 4 non-conference games at home, so it's really good to play our first 5 non-conference games at home. And I agree with what Coach Luce has said on the men's side about early games. I like playing them. I think our players, as well as the coaching staff, sitting around all day waiting for a game, there's not a whole lot to do. You're ready to play.
I don't think you can tell from an attendance. I don't think you draw any more at night than you do at day either.
Right. I haven't seen any concrete studies or anything objectively. I would tend to agree with that as well too,
Kids.
and be able to have the rest of the day off as well too afterwards.
That's good. And children, you know, they have bedtime. They have other things. Playing early, I think, helps families with kids.
Right.
I really do. Then you got Arkansas State at home and Trevecca. So you got Miami U, Christian Brothers, Arkansas State, and Trevecca, your first 4 regular season games all at home. Good test there.
They are, and I point to that Arkansas State game. That was a team last year that I believe won 28 games.
Mercy.
They lost in their conference finals to Troy. That most of the season was a top 30 team. So we will have a variety of teams, you know, from Miami of Ohio that's very physical and inside, to Arkansas State that's very athletic, Christian Brothers and Trevecca outside shooting teams that are skilled players. So a variety of teams to get us prepared for conference play.
You play Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's your first road game. You go over to Pine Bluff.
Right. Don't know a lot about them. Know Coach Kilbert, the head coach. He was at a school in Mississippi, at Mississippi Valley. We've been friends for quite a few years. So we'll play them there this year, and then they'll return the favor year after.
That's nice. And then you got a Thanksgiving Classic, and you'll be going to Orlando, Florida. You got St. Bonaventure and Central Florida. St. Bonnie.
Yeah, you need to come with us, Greg. That's a nice sunny Florida during Thanksgiving. We can come on down and have Thanksgiving dinner together.
That'd be a nice trip. Play 11 a.m. game and a 1:30 p.m. game, too, like that.
I do. And St. Bonaventure was a Final 32 team last year in the NCAA tournament. Just to have just about everybody back this year. Central Florida, new coach that comes from Albany. They had some talent 2 years ago. I remember when I was an assistant coach at Memphis, and they played in the American. So 2 really good teams to play over Thanksgiving holiday.
Got East Tennessee to come to Clarksville November 30th. That's good.
Is lost to them on a last-second three-pointer over in Johnson City last year. Special game for Keisha Gregory with her mom having been a coach there. And any regional rivalry game is exciting for us in state school, and Coach Ezell does a good job over there.
Western Kentucky comes to Clarksville. They usually always have a nice team.
They were top 25 most of the season last year, and they've had some preseason votes for top 25.
Evansville, on the road in Evansville.
Another one with new coaching staff, motion offense, skilled players out on the perimeter. Get another test with a different team. You know, we'll play a team in Western that's inside and big, and then turn right around and play Evansville. We'll be chasing them around on the court for 40 minutes.
Versatility like that. You're getting to play teams with different strengths, different weaknesses. That's good.
Correct.
Kennesaw State in Clarksville. And then, my goodness gracious, before the OVC, let's just really throw you gals, let's find out how good you are. You play MTSU in Murfreesboro and Mississippi in Oxford.
Right. We'll play father, and then we'll go play son. And in Rick, then in Matt. But we'll play those two teams before our break, and you want to know where you stand and what you have to work on.
You're gonna know,
and we'll know after those two games.
I think you will. Boy, that is early season pre-conference schedule. That's a pretty good one, Coach. Pretty ambitious, but pretty good. You got a lot of home games. That ought to be fun.
It is. And last year, according to one site, we had the 17th toughest non-conference schedule in the country out of 350 Division I teams. This year, I expect it to be definitely top 50. 9 out of those 13 teams played in some type of postseason event last year. We've taken a pretty big bite with who we are playing, but feel good about those games being at home. I thought we were able to compete in a lot of those games last year. It was 1, 2, or 3 minute stretch that hurt us, and so we're excited about playing a different team other than scrimmaging against each other.
Sure. And then after the break, the 29th of December, you start conference play. You got Morehead State and Belmont, your first two games. They'll be at home. You like your first two conference games at home, I assume.
You do. You want to try to, if you're going to compete in your conference, you got to try to win your games at home, and you sneak a few on the road, and to start off at home, it gives you an opportunity to be in a friendly Dunn Center. Who
do you look for to be the teams to beat this year in the OVC?
Yeah, preseason unanimous 1 and 2 have been Belmont and UT Martin.
Is that right?
It is. UT Martin won the regular season. Belmont won the conference tournament. They return a good bit. Both of those teams do. Last year for us, it was up and down season. We were able to beat UT Martin. We lost to Belmont by 6 at their place. We respect every one of these other 11 teams. The women's side of this conference is going to be very good this year. But we have a good feeling going in and playing any one of those teams.
I want to wish you the best.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for having me today.
Second season. Great to have you. Anytime. Have a great year.
Thank you.
David Midlick, get your governor tickets. Go over and watch the Lady Govs and watch the Govs. Hope they have great years. For yours truly, Greg Walker, our guest, for Steve Sawyer behind the scenes, until next time, have a nice rest of the day, folks.